TMZ has learned Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater have officially called it quits, and it turns out the pair have been broken up for months.
Did you date somebody that left their spouse to be with you? Man, this Ariana Grande situation, not a lot of people shock that relationship in.
On June 8th, 2026, TMZ, the celebrity news outlet, dropped 4 words that broke the internet. Grammy-winning pop star Ariana Grande and Tony-nominated Broadway actor Ethan Slater have split, and the reaction was instant. Thousands of comments, trending within the hour, fans posting crying selfies and dissecting album lyrics like detectives at a crime scene. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The breakup wasn't fresh. According to TMZ's own sources, these two had been broken up for months. Quietly, privately, while the rest of us were still arguing about whether they'd get engaged in 2026. Think about that. For months, the most scrutinized couple in pop culture. The couple that survived a homewrecker scandal, survived 2 years of tabloid warfare, survived being the main character of the internet every single week, was already over, and almost nobody knew. So how does that happen? How do 2 of the most photographed people on the planet break up in total silence? And more importantly, were the clues there the whole time? Because here's what I think after going back through the last 12 months. The signs weren't hidden, they were everywhere, we just didn't want to read them. The empty red carpets, the solo award show appearance that set the internet on fire, the interview answer that made everyone go, wait, what? The slow, deliberate disappearance from each other's public life. This wasn't a sudden breakup, this was a slow fade that played out in plain sight. And today, we're going to rewind the tape and catch every single breadcrumb that pointed to the end. This is the anatomy of a quiet split. Welcome to AListAnatomy. If you're into the real story behind the headlines, not the gossip, the pattern, you're in the right place. Let's rewind to where this all started. To understand how this ended quietly, you have to understand how loudly it began. Rewind to December 2022, London, the set of Wicked, the 2-part movie everyone had been waiting years for. Ariana Grande, fresh off her Eternal Sunshine era, cast as Glinda.
The pair have been broken up for months. Sources close to the former couple tell TMZ the split was amicable, and they are still remaining friends and are still supportive of one another. We were told they gave this breakup serious consideration and ultimately decided to end their romantic relationship.
Ethan Slater, the Broadway guy best known for playing SpongeBob on stage in the SpongeBob musical, cast as Bok. They're spending 2 years filming together, far from home, in that pressure cooker bubble that movie sets are famous for. Fast forward to July 2023, the news breaks. Ariana and Ethan are a couple, and it lands like a bomb because the timeline is messy. Within the same stretch, Ariana confirms her split from husband Dalton Gomez, and Ethan files for divorce from his wife, Lily J., a clinical psychologist who had recently given birth to their son. The headlines write themselves. Ariana gets branded a homewrecker. Lily J gives a short, brutal interview calling her not a girl's girl and saying her family was collateral damage. It's everywhere. It's relentless. For context, this isn't Ariana's first high-profile relationship drama. She'd previously navigated public breakups with Pete Davidson and the tragic loss of Mac Miller, but this felt different, more messy, more complicated. So from the very first day, this relationship is carrying weight that almost no romance survives. They're not a couple, they're a storyline, a scandal with a soundtrack. But here's what's interesting. After that explosive start, they go quiet, on purpose. They start dating openly in the fall of 2023. Friends describe them as theater kids at heart, dorky, low drama behind closed doors. And slowly, they build something that looks, from the outside, kind of stable. By early 2025, they're doing the awards season circuit together for Wicked. Oscars in March, hugging, holding each other, sitting side by side. The PDA is real, the relationship looks solid. And by late 2025, the rumor mill flips completely. Now the talk isn't, are they breaking up? It's, are they getting engaged? Sources are saying Ariana's ready for the next step. Tabloids are floating wedding and baby timelines for 2026. So picture where the public is sitting at the end of 2025. We think this couple beat the odds. We think they survived the worst of it. We think the next headline is a ring. We were looking the wrong direction entirely, because right around the time everyone was predicting a wedding, the cracks were already showing. You just had to know where to look. And the first crack showed up on a night when the whole world was watching Ariana, and Ethan was nowhere to be found. Okay, detective mode, let's lay the clues out on the table in order and watch the picture form. Breadcrumb 1, the VMAs, September 2025. Ariana shows up to the MTV VMAs, nominated for 7 awards. 7. It's a huge night for her. She wins Video of the Year, she wins Best Pop Song. And Ethan? Not on the red carpet, not inside the ceremony, nowhere. Instead, Ariana sits next to Lady Gaga. Her partner of 2 years skips one of the biggest nights of her career. Now, at the time, people explained it away. He posted an Instagram story afterward cheering her on, reposting her acceptance speech. Crisis averted, right? The fans decided it was fine. But look at it now, with what we know. A partner who quietly stops showing up to the big moments isn't a scheduling conflict. It's a pattern starting to form. Breadcrumb 2. The Today Show, November 2025. Ethan goes on Today to promote Wicked for Good, the highly anticipated sequel, and he gets the obvious question, what's it like working with your girlfriend every day? And he pivots, shifts the whole answer to praising the cast as a group, doesn't lean into it, doesn't gush, just smoothly steps around it. On its own, nothing. People dodge personal questions all the time, but stack it on top of Breadcrumb 1 and the shape gets clearer. He's not protecting a private but happy relationship. He's avoiding talking about something that's already shifting. Breadcrumb 3, the disappearing act. Here's the big one. Go back and try to find the last time these two were photographed together in public. Not a repost, not a story, actually photographed together out in the world. For a lot of fans, the trail basically goes cold after the spring of 2025. There's the London premiere of Wicked for Good in November, where Ariana posts a photo dump that includes Ethan. And notice, even then, they skip taking pictures together on the actual carpet. They're keeping it private, controlled, curated. Two of the most photographed people alive, and the public sightings just stop. That's not shyness, that's distance. Breadcrumb 4, the rumor whiplash. This is the part that fascinates me. Through late 2025 and into 2026, the breakup rumors are constant, and every time sources rush in to shut them down. They're strong, they're supportive, they're getting engaged. Don't worry, but think about what that actually means. When a relationship is genuinely fine, you don't need a press cycle every few weeks insisting it's fine. The volume of those denials, that's the tell. The lady doth protest too much. Breadcrumb 5, the lyrics, and then comes the album. Ariana releases new music during her Eternal Sunshine tour cycle, and fans immediately start mining it. One track in particular, a song about moving on, about seeing through someone's insecurities, about finding her way out of a relationship. The title alone sent the internet spiraling. Now here's the official line. Sources insisted the album was not inspired by the breakup, and the songs are not about Ethan. Take that for what it's worth. But you have to admit, for an artist who builds entire eras out of her personal life, the timing is something, so line them all up. The empty seat at the VMAs, the dodged interview, the vanishing public appearances, the endless denials, the lyrics, 5 breadcrumbs spread across nearly a year, all pointing the same direction. The signs weren't subtle, they were a trail of flashing lights. We just kept choosing the engagement story instead, because that's the story we wanted. And while we were busy planning their wedding in our heads, the actual breakup had already quietly happened. So let's talk about how it finally came out, because even the confirmation was quiet. No joint statement, no tearful Instagram post, no, we've decided to go our separate ways with so much love and respect, caption. None of the usual celebrity breakup choreography. Instead, on June 8th, 2026, it just surfaces. TMZ reports the split, citing sources close to the former couple. And the details paint a very specific picture. 1. They'd been broken up for several months already. 2. The split is amicable. 3. They still remain friends and are genuinely supportive of each other. And 4. They gave the breakup careful thought before ending the romantic side of things. Read that back. That is not the language of a blow-up. There's no scandal here, no villain, no third party. After everything, after the homewrecker headlines, after 2 years of being the messiest story in pop culture, the ending is almost boringly mature. 2 people quietly deciding they work better as friends. Which raises the real question, why keep it secret for months? And I think there are a few honest answers. First, survival. These 2 were burned by the spotlight harder than almost anyone. Ariana herself talked about the negativity that came from the tabloid coverage, how it didn't get easier. When the public turned your entire relationship into a circus, why would you hand them the breakup too? Staying quiet wasn't hiding, it was self-protection. Second, the Wicked rollout. The back half of 2025 was wall-to-wall promotion for Wicked. For Good. Premieres, press, awards buzz. The last thing either of them needed was a breakup story hijacking a project they'd given 2 years of their lives to. So they protected the work. They kept it together publicly until the moment passed. And third, honestly, dignity. After being picked apart for years, ending things privately and on their own terms might have been the one piece of the relationship they actually got to control. So the silence wasn't suspicious. It was the most in-character thing they could have done. The couple that learned the hard way what happens when the internet owns your love life decided, this time, the internet wouldn't get the ending until they were ready. And by the time we found out, they'd already moved on. The grieving, the processing, the awkward part, all done months ago off camera. We were mourning a relationship that the two people in it had already made peace with. So what do we actually learn from all this? Rewind the whole thing, and the pattern is almost poetic. A relationship that started as the loudest story in the world ended as the quietest. It began with a scandal nobody could stop talking about, and it ended with a breakup nobody even noticed. And that flip tells you everything about what these two learned along the way. Because the truth is, the clues were never really hidden. The empty VMA seat, the dodged question, the vanishing photos, the denials that came a little too often. We had every piece. The trail was right in front of us for nearly a year. We just didn't follow it, because we'd already decided how this story ended. We wanted the engagement. We wanted the redemption arc. We wanted the messy couple to beat the odds and get their happy ending. So we read every breadcrumb as proof of what we hoped instead of what was actually there. That's the real lesson here, and it goes way beyond two celebrities. We don't watch famous relationships to see the truth. We watch them to confirm the story we've already written in our heads. Ariana and Ethan saw that clearly. They'd lived it. And so when it came time to end things, they did the one thing the internet never expected from the most dramatic couple in pop culture. They were calm, they were kind, and they were quiet. A scandal that started in plain sight. A breakup that hid in plain sight. Same spotlight, completely different ending. And maybe that's the healthiest thing either of them did in this whole saga. So what do you think? Did you call this one months ago? Or did the news catch you completely off guard? Drop your take in the comments, because I read them and I want to know which breadcrumb you spotted first. If you got something out of this breakdown, the like button helps more than you'd think, and there's a full playlist of these celebrity anatomies waiting for you right here. I'll see you in the next one.